What happened in
sprint qualifying
for the Miami Grand Prix? Well, Miami. They've started strong. Well, especially for you, Tommy. You are buzzing right now, aren't you, my friend?
I am. I know, yeah. What a sprint quali. Kept changing throughout the whole session as well, which was a big surprise. And yes, and who else was a big surprise was Kimi Antonelli.
All right, mate, relax yourself. Let's start with SQ1, shall we? With the bottom 5, Stroll, Doohan, Tsunoda, Bortoleto and Behrman. Let's go straight into a question as well. P1 Patreon member 1007. How did so many teams end up with drivers getting caught up so badly in traffic at the end of SQ1? Feels like especially Yuki and Jack just got massively screwed over by their own teams. I don't really understand the full frustration that Doohan was showing. It felt slightly mismatched with the situation and the actual scenario at hand of it being a sprint quali. Doohan as well, coming out of the pits, from what I understand and what I've seen.
Yeah, that's my understanding. He
missed the turn. He had to then be rolled out. Some more drivers got through. Now, I'm sure there were other reasons for, and very fair reasons for him to be upset. But for me, I was just sat there going, why is he so upset about this? Is it because something else is going on in the background? Obviously,
yes.
We've spoken about it the entire season, but it felt as if maybe something has
he knows something,
happened.
maybe. Yeah, because he was more animated than probably he should be. And, my question is, why the drivers, obviously we mentioned Doohan and why that happened, but Doohan, Tsunoda, Bortoleto and Behrman were basically the 4 drivers that missed the line and were the 4 in the drop zone. Why would you not be sitting at the end of that pit lane to make sure you're out, to make sure you definitely get a lap and you don't get held up in traffic? Because there was always going to be a mad rush. There was a mad rush literally at the start of qualifying to even get out there. So there's always going to be this mad rush that you run the risk. And that obviously happened with Yuki as well. Weirdly, Yuki kind of slowed down for Max as well, and then missed the line.
But yeah, the Max thing was a bit strange because Max was sort of toodling into the pits, and yeah, it was weird, wasn't it, to see 4 of the 5 drivers, I think it was, out before we even had the last flying laps. One to forget, I'd say, for Behrman as well. Crashed in free practice, starts last. I'm sat there. He's my biggest good surprise of the season. I'm going, one weekend, I'm like, yes, he's brilliant, he's scoring points, and then he just has these absolute stinkers come out of nowhere as well, and I hope for his sake he'll be able to bounce back tomorrow. And of course, Lance Stroll out in SQ1, are we surprised? No, we are not. Captain Obvious 3420, how did Max not get a penalty for the SQ1 shenanigans?
This was the final heavy braking zone corner, where Lance had to go round Max. So Max was basically going down the main straight and Lance had to basically go offline and go around him. This is after a braking marker as well. So I'm surprised because Stroll was trying to get a lap completed and be enough to basically make it through. And, you've got to say you're losing time there, basically having to go offline while Max wasn't. So surprised that there's nothing, not even investigated by the sound of it.
Yeah, I think that is, on reflection, a slam dunk penalty because Max is sat on the racing line. He's forced a driver that's on a flying lap to go onto the dirt to then come back to the racing line for the braking zone, which isn't even that far away. So why has he not been investigated? I actually have no idea. SQ2, the bottom 5 in this session were Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Lawson and Sainz. P1 Patreon member Tycho Hardy asks, is the gap between Lawson and Hadjar starting to become concerning? In this day and age of Formula One, absolutely. I think Hadjar is doing a phenomenal job after the heartbreak that was Australia. He is rapid. Especially in qualifying, he is so quick, and this is exactly the kind of potential that teams want to see. Lawson, on the other hand, I was expecting more from him so far since his demotion, promotion, whatever you want to call it, to VCARB, because he had shown signs of promise, and that's the reason why he got the call up for Red Bull. But perhaps that whole experience for him has really rocked the boat so far.
Yeah, a disappointing qualifying again, and very impressive from Hadjar to make it into P9.
I think as well, Carlos Sainz worth mentioning. He made a big mistake on the brakes. That poor tyre. Wow, the amount of smoke that came out of that. I was almost wincing. I was really feeling sorry for that tyre. But yeah, Sainz, no time. Another mistake. He has been looking decent, at least the start of this weekend in practice. He looked fast, and he has been seeming as if he's getting on top of that Williams finally. But a very costly mistake, because with how short these sessions are, you make a mistake like that, you're out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, shocking for Sainz, especially after he had a really good performance last time out, and we're like, okay, Carlos is back. This is the Carlos we expected, but big error from him.
Ocon, a settler of a performance in qualifying for P12, considering he's had some shockers so far on a Saturday. So, yeah, decent job from Ocon. And then Gasly, very, very middle of the road. And this is another thing, right, where I'm like, Gasly qualified 13th, Jack Doohan. Relax yourself, bro. He's literally 4 positions ahead of you, and his head has come fully off of his shoulders, as if Alpine could have got pole.
Yeah,
and
like, they've not got pace. Yeah, it's very weird.
It's not as if he was going to really out-qualify Gasly or be much further ahead if he did. Okay, let's go to SQ3, and the top 10 were Antonelli, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Albon, Hadjar, and Alonso. It has to be Kimi Antonelli. We got to talk about it straight out the blocks. Wow. What a lap. He has been on it since lap 1 around here. It's been the first time where you genuinely sat there and went, okay, he's on George's pace going into qualifying. Of course, we only have one practice session, but you saw it immediately. And George said it in his post-sprint quali interview. He said, Kimi's been quick. And he's had some serious confidence that I don't think we've seen so far, and it's only race number 6 now, weekend number 6. So phenomenal job from Kimi. It's not like it came out of nowhere. He looked great in SQ1, SQ2, and then in the final session as well. And to deliver it with just 1 lap, beautiful.
Yeah, really good from Antonelli. Yeah, what a way to basically like deliver to Mercedes for making that huge kind of taking that massive risk to go for him. And he's had a good season as well up until this point. Not been, unbelievable and matching like George, but to go into this already and we know now how difficult it is to overtake at Miami and how difficult it is to overtake full stop in 2025. He genuinely has a great chance to win the sprint as well. He does have to whisper those tyres, but yeah, what a huge statement to be in P1 already at 18
Absolutely.
years old.
AMG Piper asks, does a poll from Kimi prove that the hype around him was correct? Yes, it's done. It's done now. Like, he's had a really decent start to his rookie season, and now he's taken it to another level where you go, oh wow, he's special. Because to do that on a sprint weekend with 1 practice session, he's never driven around this track before in his life.
Yeah.
Yes, that is as simple as that. So
sprints, a lot of the time, we kind of give rookies a bit of a benefit of the doubt that they don't get as much practice time like we normally get, where you get 3 qualifying sessions. So for him to deliver it then, just superb.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Next question, P1 Patreon member Alan Enderpay. Is Russell regretting not going out for a second flying lap? Could have possibly gotten pole with it. It seemed like an easy decision to make. It's not as if he had to go in and use another set of tyres. Max Verstappen went out there, did his lap really early with George, and then tootled around for a couple of I think he did a double call to then push one more time and gained 4 tenths. I know some of that was just probably due to his poor last sector that he did on his first lap. But it seems like a bit of a misstep from Mercedes and George not to at least give yourself a try, even if you are 2 seconds off because your tyres are cooked. Just keep yourself in the mix to give it a go.
I get why why Russell and Verstappen went for it, because we've seen traffic issues. We discussed it in SQ1. And equally, we were saying during the watch along, weren't we, that if we get a red flag, that's Russell and Verstappen 1-2, and they have to work out the rest based on SQ2 or something. So it was kind of it made sense to do it, but why you wouldn't then have another go like Max did to try and improve your time, particularly when your rookie teammate is basically taken pole and you're 3/10 behind when you've been the one that's normally quite a way ahead of Antonelli, it has to be said, in a lot of the qualifying sessions this year. So missed opportunity for George for sure, but I guess, well, as we always say with sprints, you'd much rather it happen in this one than the main one. That's the only kind of silver lining of a dark cloud, if you like.
Question from P1 Picture member CC Hollister. What is happening with the TV direction? All right. You know what? I'm putting the medal on. Because TV direction don't deserve a medal. They don't deserve anything close to this, because what on earth are they doing? I don't think I've shouted during a qualifying session as much as I did during that, and not just because Ferrari was on pole or excitement shouting, just frustration. Like, what are they doing? We had, and I know that sometimes they do stick with a driver because they're the first over the line to start their lap, and then they feed their way back. Albon had started his lap. We're looking at people on the pit wall. We had that, I think, in SQ2 as well.
Oh my God, the lingering pit wall shots are so irritating.
And we're looking at people in the garage. I'm like, there are people on laps. I am here to watch Formula One cars go round really quickly. But SQ3 just took the biscuit. You watched Hamilton's entire lap when everybody else is on a lap, and it is a one-shot quali. Why are we watching Hamilton, who has no hope in hell of getting pole? You have Oscar Piastri, the championship leader, right behind. Follow him. And then, what about Lando Norris? He's trying to catch up. He's trying to bounce back and win another. No, we're not going to watch him. What about Max Verstappen improving and going purple on his second or however many laps he'd done at that point on his soft tire? No, we chose Hamilton, who went second at the time. Whoop-de-doo. Everybody is flying out there. And as well, we had that weird drone shot thing of the start line. Again, when Albon was on a lap,
when people were on hot laps,
waiting for Hamilton to start his lap. Albon was there doing a purple middle sector at the time, may I add, and we did not see a sniff of him. And that's just some. I'm sure there are many more, Tommy, that you're going to add to, but it's just not good enough, because it's not the first time we've complained about the TV direction, and I can sure as hell bet it won't be the last.
We have this conversation after seemingly every race at the moment where we go, they just need a bit of wheel knowledge to know when to cut to things, because you can see how the race is unfolding. The same needs to be said in qualifying. They need someone that goes, you know what, we're not showing Hamilton. He's nowhere. Let's cut to someone else, because we want to see their laps. And have, Kimi Antonelli was setting amazing sectors, and we saw none of his lap. Why are you showing Hamilton? You can't even say it's the first car across the line thing, because Albon, like you say, had already gone and they decided not to show him. They'd much rather show people on their mobile phones in the crowd, or people in the garage just sat waiting. Probably, I feel like the people in the garage just sat there watching the monitors going, I really wish you'd show the blooming track.
Please stop showing my face.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch the Formula 1.
Please stop zooming in on me and linger for about 5 seconds until it becomes awkward.
It should absolutely be illegal, especially in qualifying, when they are going at the absolute limit of the car to show anything other than, okay, the crowd a few times, I'll allow it, fine. That's it. I don't need to see someone sat at a pit wall trying to watch the qualifying. There's nothing going on. There's nothing. Yeah. It doesn't add anything to our experience.
And it's so bizarre as well why they choose to pick these shots, because it's not like the mechanics or anything are doing something particularly crazy, or if they're in IndyCar, for example. And I find it annoying that they're cutting to the crowd, but in a way they're like they cut to people in the audience. Say it was like Kimi Antonelli's dad or something, and he's going for pole, and they're like cutting to him and his face.
Kimi Antonelli's dad's going for pole.
Antonelli going for pole, and you're kind of watching his dad's reaction. At least there's kind of a reason to show something, because it's emotion. But watching bored people in the garage that just want to watch, because they're watching the monitor of what's live as well, and they want to see what's going on track. it's all right having all these camera angles and all these different things that they can do, but sometimes too many cooks spoil the broth. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need, just because you've got a nose cam, we don't need to see it for an onboard overtake. Just because you've got people filming the garage all the time, yes, if something crazy happens, you know.
Yeah,
if
I'd like to see the pit wall if there's rain coming down and they are having to make a strategic decision and it's all getting a bit chaotic.
Yeah.
Fine, it has to have context. I feel like they just go, well, we can't just constantly show the cars. Let's show something else, because I don't think everybody just wants to watch the cars. Let's look at this flag. Oh, lovely. And
Exactly.
okay, now let's go to the pit. Just no, thank you. Anyway, I think that's popped off rather enough on the TV direction, but it's not good enough.
Bring on tomorrow when we see...
Yeah, bring on tomorrow where we'll have another segment. Right, that is it. We are done. Sprint quali in the locker. Tomorrow we have the sprint race and main quali. Can Antonelli clean sweep it? Wow, goodness gracious me. That's not a sentence I thought I was going to be saying today. Tommy, what are your final thoughts? And please don't get too excited.
Just bring it on, because... yeah, the fact that we've somehow again ended up with, oh, it's the McLarens, they're miles clear, and again, you know, they're not on pole position, and yeah, it's exciting.
Right, thank you everybody. We'll see you soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.